Okay, I'll be concise too. I'm suing from Hwan Chong Institution. So I'd like to share a thought that I gained from the PM's National Day Rally. For me, the most valuable insight I gained was that right now the most important consideration for Singaporean society is that we need a more matured civil society. So for that to happen, we need the Singaporean mind to be more independent, to be more opinionated, not to be so much of a follower of a herd mentality. So how optimistic should we be about this progression of the Singaporean mindset, and what else can we do in order to enhance this progress?
I'm optimistic simply because, especially for the younger generation, you are more well informed and educated than my generation was, in terms of the information you have access to in real time. I know that the young Singaporeans do care. You look at the amount of social activities and projects that young Singaporeans embark on, both locally and overseas. So I think this combination of knowing and caring will lead to a much more active and mature civil society. But what we want is a civil society that is not measured by sound and fury, but measured by good work and progress for us as a nation. And I think, so it's just this combination, right? Do you know and do you care? And before you speak and before you act, make sure you know and you care. Know your past, know where we came from, know the limitations that we operate in the current time, know what your dreams and hopes are, not only your own personal dreams and hopes, but the dreams and hopes of other Singaporeans. So after you've gone through that cognitive process, then check with your heart. Are you doing this because you want to be famous, or you want to be rich, or you want people to know you, or are you doing or saying what you do because you truly care? And I think if we can stick to a situation where you use your head and you use your heart, I think we'll have a very vibrant and a very beneficial civil society, one which will make an enormous difference to the Singapore of the future. You want to add to that?
Thank you. Actually, maybe we can talk about this later, but perhaps all of us can think about how optimistic should we be about the progress of the Singaporean mindset?
I am optimistic. I'm optimistic because you are the generation that's far more exposed, far more experienced with dealing with diversity, and has been far more invested in terms of educational and other prospects. For all of you, the world is the limit, And that's why that also causes a paradoxical challenge for Singapore. All of you are going to be educated to the level where you can literally live, work, plug and play anywhere in the world. We have put you on a launch pad where the world is your oyster. After we do that, then we got to worry, will there be enough of you after wandering around the world, seeing the world and exploiting the opportunities which the world has for people like you who are well educated, culturally sensitive, respectful and honest, and hardworking. Will there be enough of you coming back to continue tending and building up Singapore? But that's a completely different paradox. But it is another of the fundamental paradoxes of Singapore.
Thank you.
Good evening, Minister and Dr. Emiko. My name is Rahul from SRJC, and I'd like to pose this question. Do you think Singapore would always be disadvantaged just because we are not homogeneous in race like Japan, so we will always be less united? Like we always have to work towards creating that unity while others don't? So in bad times like economic recession, we are vulnerable?
Another very profound question. Will we always be disadvantaged because unity will always be an issue and we always have to work so hard at it? The honest answer is I don't know whether it's a disadvantage, but I do think it is also an advantage. You cited the example of Japan. The similarity between Japan and Singapore is that in the next 20, 30 years, we are going to become one of the fastest aging societies in Asia. Japan is already reached that, and very soon will start shrinking. So that's a similarity. We're getting old. But there is one key difference between Japan and us, at least Japan of today and Singapore of today. We are multiracial, and we are able, because we are multiracial and respectful of differences, it also allows us to absorb new immigrants who may come from different backgrounds from us, and to absorb them into a society which treats everybody fairly. Now, that is a key advantage. So to answer your question, are there disadvantages? Yes, there are disadvantages. But are there advantages to having a society which is multiracial, which is willing and able to absorb new citizens, even though that causes some other sets of problems? And the answer to that question is yes. So it's a bit of both plus and minus. Our objective is to make it a net plus.
Thank you, Minister.
I would like, I'm Xin Yuan from Raffles Girls' School. I would like to note that the economy was not really mentioned as extensively as race and religion during the National Day Rally, which I thought was quite puzzling in light of the current economic crisis. Despite what Dr. Vivian has said about the importance of the economy to our existence, why was this so? And would it not be more reflective and constructive to discuss the effects and factors of this economic situation?
Well, it's just that the Prime Minister has got a limited amount of time to speak. But don't worry, the economy is still very important. You're right, we are still in the midst of the economic crisis. It's not over yet. Things seem to be not getting as bad as quickly as it was earlier on. There are some hopeful signs. What we have done so far, I think, has cushioned the impact of the economic downturn on our people. The jobs credit scheme, the special risk sharing initiative, a whole slew of announcements which were made during the budget have acted as a significant cushion for our people. But even while we have cushioned our people from the greatest impact of this downturn, we're also using this time to restructure the economy, to think of new plans, new initiatives, and new possibilities which we can pursue in the future. So let me assure you that our focus on the economy is still there, and we are still focused on jobs for our current workers, new jobs for workers who may be losing old jobs, and of course new and exciting jobs for young people like you. We don't worry about that. We will still focus on that, because at the end of the day, I think what young Singaporeans want more than anything else is opportunities. So we will continue to focus on that.
Thank you.